ever wondered what the world will look like when you're celebrating your hypothetical 100th birthday? In 2074, the landscape of our planet and civilization will be radically different, shaped by the relentless march of artificial intelligence and its myriad transformations. Prepare to journey 50 years into the future, a future teeming with both unimaginable possibilities and chilling uncertainties. Our exploration begins with a profound observation. The human mind and the universe are the two greatest mysteries nature holds. Within our brains, approximately 86 billion neurons fire in a symphony of over 100 trillion connections. This biological marvel allows us to perform 10 quadrillion calculations per second, a feat rivaling the processing power of a city-sized supercomputer. But the true magic lies in our unique ability to project ourselves into the future, a capability that distinguishes us from the animal kingdom. While your loyal dog lives solely in the present, oblivious to tomorrow's promises or yesterday's regrets, we humans possess the gift and the burden of foresight. Part 1. Echoes of the Past, Whispers of the Future. To understand the potential trajectory of 2074, we must first revisit the monumental industrial and scientific revolutions that have reshaped our world. The first industrial revolution, ignited in Britain around the 1760s, was sparked by the invention of the steam engine and the mechanization of textile production. This transformed manufacturing, shrinking tasks that once took days into mere hours. This surge in production fueled a relentless pursuit of raw materials and resources, giving rise to colonization. Factories sprang up, creating jobs and driving unprecedented economic growth in the Western world. Ironically, this era also birthed our modern schooling system, structured to churn out a workforce capable of meeting the demands of the burgeoning factory system. Can you imagine a world without this structured education that has influenced your life? The Second Industrial Revolution, spanning from the 1870s to the 1950s, ushered in the age of electricity and the internal combustion engine. Mass production became the norm, flooding the market with consumer goods on an unprecedented scale. Henry Ford's assembly line revolutionized manufacturing, creating cars, buses, airplanes, televisions, and countless other items. We also witnessed the rise of nuclear bombs, towering skyscrapers, and a mass migration towards urban centers. The Third Industrial Revolution, the digital revolution, began in the late 1960s, bringing forth our modern computers, telecommunications technology, the internet, lasers, fiber optics, and social media. This era democratized information and knowledge, leading to the automation of manufacturing processes and the creation of entirely new industries, such as software and information technology. Humans on the factory floor began to be replaced by machines, fueling initial fears of job losses. Yet history shows that humanity adapted, upskilling itself to operate and maintain these powerful new tools. This revolution also saw us venture into space, landing on the moon, launching satellites and telescopes, and unraveling the vastness of the universe. Today, we stand at the precipice of the Fourth Industrial Revolution, driven by the exponential growth of artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things, biotechnology, and nanotechnology. Since 2010, AI has begun to permeate every industry, powering machines that communicate with each other and driving data-driven decision-making. We see smarter manufacturing processes, self-driving cars, and smart cities emerging. AI is even generating creative content, images, videos, music, stories, and research papers, tasks that once required human ingenuity. Alarming many is the prospect of AI generating computer programs, tasks once requiring months of human effort in a matter of minutes. Now, we're facing potentially catastrophic job losses across industries, with artists, writers, doctors, programmers, lawyers, and even entire Hollywood production crews facing an uncertain future. Part 2. The Fifth Revolution and the Dawn of the Post-Human. But where will all this lead us in 2074? Some scientists believe we are already stepping into the Fifth Industrial Revolution, fueled by generative AI, computer vision, and immersive virtual world technologies. By 2026, AI may be capable of generating complete, enterprise-level software applications in minutes, guided by simple human prompts or even instructions from other machines. Most futurists agree that the next 2 to 3 decades will bring the most profound and rapid transformations in technology, science, environment, and interpersonal relationships. We live in an era of scientific acceleration with unpredictable consequences. It's estimated that in 2054, scientific knowledge will have multiplied exponentially. Artificial superintelligence will likely have emerged, potentially propelling our civilization to expand at a significant fraction of the speed of light. We might begin constructing infrastructure deep in outer space for future generations of both biological and non-biological humans. However, this journey towards the post-human presents humanity with its most significant challenge. The path we choose will have profound consequences. In the best-case scenario, we can envision a world where humans live immensely fulfilling lives, experiencing unimaginable wonders, feeling ecstatic bliss, and living for thousands of years in virtual worlds. But this idyllic future could also be a synthetic and meaningless existence by our current standards. Alternatively, the future of 2074 could be a dark and dystopian nightmare. A few powerful and ultra-rich humans might form a master race, reducing the rest of humanity to disposable creatures. Ultimately, the future hinges on the utility function of the AI that achieves superintelligence and its capacity to shape long-term outcomes. Will super AI be the doom of humanity or its savior? A positive future relies on our ability to resolve cultural, territorial, religious, and ideological conflicts and agree on a common AI ethics definition to overcome biases and control problems. But ultimately, we must grapple with the fundamental question: what is a machine and what is a human? It appears we are nearing a decisive moment in history. The events unfolding in the next 2 or 3 decades will determine the fate of life on Earth. Our civilization will change more in the next 20 years than in the previous 3 centuries. Exponential change is all around us. Moore's law, the doubling of circuit densities every 12 to 18 months, highlights this exponential phenomenon. We're not just counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. We're counting in exponentials like 2, 4, 8, 16. In 10 years, we will be at 128, a 30-fold increase from today. And if we take these 30 steps further, we reach 1 billion. This exponential power suggests that by 2030, we will all carry supercomputers, 1 million times more powerful than today, in our pockets. We will be able to perform our own DNA analysis in seconds. By 2050, each human could potentially possess a computer with the capacity of all human brains, roughly 10 billion brains. The exponential phenomenon is not just limited to technology, it pervades the biological world. 2 cells doubling over 9 months result in 1 trillion cells, what we call a baby. Exponential growth is the miracle of birth. We are immersed in an age of exponentials, but the challenge lies in culturally adapting to this change, which creates tension in global society. The smartphone will no longer be the best-selling product. We are walking exponentially in a one-way process toward an inevitable lightness of matter, witnessing the dematerialization of technology. The computer will no longer be on a desk. It will be spread and installed in our eyes, hands, feet, and even our brains. It's the new age of transparency. Computers will become invisible, and intelligence will be everywhere and nowhere, like electricity today. You'll walk into a room, talk to the walls, and they will talk back to you. You'll mentally connect to the internet, and the internet will become a brain net, where emotions, feelings, and sensations are transcribed around the planet almost instantly. The Internet of Things. IoT means connecting devices, machines, and buildings to gather and utilize more information than ever before. Some predict that we will have 500 billion connected devices by 2025, including cars, airplanes, engines, trucks, food shops, and eventually several trillion connected devices. Today, we use only about 12% of the data we could potentially use. IoT aims to capture and create more data, make it available, and finally, create value from it. Your refrigerator might communicate with the network, automatically ordering milk when you're running low. Nature is made known in formulas that the brain decodes and translates into scientific advances. The ability to create artificial intelligence is another step with an unknown scope. Part 3. Robots, Transhumanism, and the Future of Consciousness. We are living in the midst of a sensor revolution. We first created computers, then networked them together, creating cyberspace. Now we are giving them eyes, ears, smell, and other sensory organs, tasking them to observe and manipulate the world on our behalf. In the next phase, we will bestow upon them superintelligence. These AI robots will be able to observe their environment, move around, and make decisions based on objectives set by humans. Currently, robots are at level 1 of consciousness. They know how to locate themselves. They are gradually evolving to level 2, emotions. The next level is the ability to plan for the future. It is estimated that by 2050, they will replace more than half of the professions performed by human beings today, including carpentry, plumbing, electrical work, gardening, housekeeping, cooking, warehouse work, security, and policing. It is very likely that by 2050, advanced nations like the USA, China, and Russia will have replaced more than 50% of their fighting forces with robots. The robotics industry will dwarf the automobile industry of today. As robots become more capable, they will live with us in many different ways. There is no reason why we should not rely more and more on robots, just as we rely on washing machines and computers to achieve our goals and vision. This raises an ethical question. What will be our relationship with these robots once they are cognitive, aware of their environment, and developing their own particularities? We are just scratching the surface of this question. Will we find uniform answers, or will different cultures develop vastly different responses? What if they turn against us? Our most advanced robots today can read, walk, run, climb mountains, traverse difficult terrain, and interact with people. But when it comes to intelligence, they are nowhere near a human being. In the next 25 years, they will become nearly as intelligent as humans. At that point, they could be dangerous because they will have a will of their own, a consciousness of their own, and an agenda of their own, which may not include humans. How would humans know if they have murderous thoughts? And what would humans do if robots have destructive thoughts? These questions remain unanswered. By 2050, not only will robots be extremely intelligent, but we may also see an improved human species, far removed from the randomness of nature and determined by human choices. While everyone is obsessed with AI and digital technology, the biggest changes will occur in biology and within the human organism itself. Human brains may reach levels of intelligence never before achieved, and the choice of eye color or a baby's hair will become a human decision. Genetic manipulation opens a new chapter in the creation of synthetic life. The chance of creating useful bacteria or a new hybrid species in a laboratory is possible, but is this a door we should open? We are on the cusp of a shift from digital technology to biology, which will grow exponentially. The first third of the last century was shaped by chemistry, the middle third by physics, and the final third by electronics and digital technology. We are in the early stages where biology is growing faster and changing more rapidly than digital technology, but we don't quite see the consequences yet. We live in the pre-incorporation of technology in the human body era. Transhumanism has started knocking on the door. The number of humans with computer chips in their bodies is rising in Asia, Europe, and America. Victims of tetraplegia or mental illnesses are gaining new hope with intracranial devices. Neuralink is creating a chip implant that is a generalized brain interface to restore autonomy to those with unmet medical needs. In 100 years, the intersection between technology and human capabilities will create a large network of brains that communicate mentally with thought. As scientists move forward with human brain decoding, new windows open for human-machine fusion, such as the power of recording and sending memories and sensations to others. Imagine waking up in the morning, pushing a button, and watching the dream you had the previous night. When you go to sleep, a machine will keep producing a video of images of what you are dreaming of. This is almost science fact now. Are we going to put technology inside our bodies? Absolutely. Over the next several decades, we will find ways to augment human cognition and abilities with biologically based machines. Intelligence augmentation is something we are moving towards. Artificial intelligence was a term coined by John McCarthy in 1958, who predicted that supercomputers would become smarter than us and evolve faster than us, ultimately replacing us. On the other hand, Intelligence augmentation was a term coined by Douglas Engelbart, who argued that the point of these powerful machines is to create ever more powerful tools that augment and enhance human intelligence. The future may be intelligence augmentation, where machines do not completely replace us, but rather create a deep symbiosis between man and machine. Another term emerging for this concept is ACI, or Artificial Capable Intelligence. When human brains connect to computers through brain-to-machine interfaces, a whole new revolution emerges in how we view the world. Humans will be able to send emotions of their experiences in the form of mental images to others and record their memories as those thoughts emerge. Alzheimer's disease may be the disease of the century, with millions of people just wandering the streets, wondering who they are and where they live. They will have a button to push, and memories will come flooding into their hippocampus, reminding them who they are, where they live, and what they have to do today. If you want to learn calculus, you may just push a button and understand higher mathematics. The idea of taking a human mind and uploading it into a computer seems impossible now, but with improved technology, it can be doable. In that case, you would invoke a 3D lifelike and identical hologram of the original person, with the same memories, personality, and ability to think and talk. When we go to a library and want to learn about a historic figure, we will talk to a holographic image of that person. The hologram looks, talks, and has all his mannerisms, memories, and biographical information. Further down the line, we may become immortal. Our great-great-grandkids will go to the library and talk to us, conjure up who we are, and will leave a digital fingerprint, a footprint of all our habits, our memories, our sensations, and we'll have an interesting conversation with our descendants even if we have long since passed away. Beyond that is the digitalization of the entire human brain, all 86 billion neurons and over 100 trillion neural connections. This is called the Connectomy Project, which aims to map all the neural connections in the brain to uncover insights into its wiring, how it works, and how its structure underlies its many functions. When we die and our connectomy lives on in a computer, are we really dead? This is called digital immortality. We live in the era of genetics intersection with nanotechnology and artificial intelligence. The transposition of borders brings multidisciplinary revelations with scopes never before imagined. Genetics will allow control and evasion from various diseases. It will slow aging and prolong life. Our great-grandkids may have the option of stopping aging at 30 and remaining that age for many decades. We don't have the fountain of youth, but it's possible that in the coming decades, we'll be able to unravel the genetics and chemistry of the aging process and stop it. Just 10 or 15 years ago, we did not know what aging really was. Now, we know that aging is the buildup of error in our body, genetic error, cellular error, and molecular error. We now know that there are error-correcting mechanisms, but eventually these mechanisms fail, leading to aging and death. Another development that will impact human longevity is synthetic organs. Human organs are being printed on 3D printing devices. Current state-of-the-art in organ printing involves printing the structure and shape as the foundation where cells grow. We can create a 3D geometry of an organ on which living human cells are injected, and the cells grow into the organs. The easier organs to print are those like the skin because it is not very complex. Other simple organs like bladders, livers, and pancreases are being worked on. In a couple of decades, we may see direct 3D organ printing instead of growing cells on 3D geometry. We are now beginning to create a human body shop, just like an automobile body shop where you order a fender or a steering wheel. We can now grow skin, bone, cartilage, noses, ears, heart valves, bladders, and windpipes using our own cells, so there is no risk of rejection. Synthetic organs and bioengineering to slow down aging will mostly benefit the rich and privileged, who want to live forever and keep enjoying their wealth. The poor, on the other hand, only extend their misery. If AI continues to benefit the rich and powerful, we will have greedy, cruel, and indifferent humans living forever, while the rest may not choose to live forever. This brings us back to the point that a good future depends on whether we can resolve our cultural, territorial, religious, and ideological conflicts and agree on a common AI ethics definition to overcome biases and control problems. This is a monumental task and requires rethinking what it means to be human. Does human life, regardless of whose, have more value than money, power, ideology, religions, and cultures? These questions must be etched into an artificial superintelligence to create a just and fair world. In the next 50 years, human beings may develop their skills and ascend to the next level, perhaps superior spirituality and indifference to materialism. The ability to simulate the future has been a motive for human intelligence evolution. How far we go depends on balancing the potential of technology and the threats of everyday life. Will disputes over land, gold, oil, fire, gas, water, fisheries, food resources, cultures, religions, and ideologies prevent humans from fighting their real battle for survival? This must be decided by the 99% of humanity, not by the 1% who control the strings to the dreams and hopes of humanity at large, not by the kings, presidents, and prime ministers of nation-states, and certainly not by the United Nations, World Bank, IMF, or the World Economic Forum. So, what have we learned from this journey into 2074? We stand at a critical juncture where the choices we make today will determine the fate of humanity. The relentless advancement of AI and biotechnology holds the potential for both unparalleled progress and unprecedented peril. The lesson is clear. We must actively shape the future we want to inhabit. We cannot passively stand by and let technology dictate our destiny. We must engage in meaningful discussions about the ethics and control of these powerful technologies. We must ensure that AI is used to benefit all of humanity, not just a select few. This change must be real and not merely confined to slogans and rhetoric. AI may be the last and final invention of humans, so it's crucial to ensure that it is used to benefit all of humanity and not just a select group of people. What kind of world do you want to leave behind? What are you willing to do to ensure a future where technology serves humanity rather than the other way around? These are the questions we must grapple with as we navigate this era of unprecedented change to your health, happiness, and a future where technology empowers us all. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more thought-provoking content and to stay informed on the ever-evolving world of AI and its implications.